Coach Gruden, I want to talk to you about the DJ Moore throw in a second, but I just got the news in my ear. Breaking news: Bills have fired Sean McDermott. What's your immediate reaction?
Well, that makes me sick. That makes me absolutely sick. I mean, I have no idea what the hell's going on in this league. They fired 10 head coaches this year. Good luck to Buffalo. And now I'm really glad they lost the game personally.
So much for sticking up for Buffalo. I'm sticking up for Buffalo. I don't like that firing. I don't think you're knocking on the doorstep. The only thing you can blame him for, but you have Josh Allen, is why you call that play. But who are you going to get better than him?
I don't think you can do much better than Sean McDermott. I mean, hell, their whole defense was beat up the whole year. Their whole D-line, their linebacking core, their secondary. You know, for them to fire Sean McDermott after a season like this, I can't say I'm surprised based on what I've seen owners do in the NFL the last several years, but this one really hits me hard. This makes me sick.
Well, and it's interesting timing because where do you go from here, right? Stefanski, we now know, going to Atlanta, Harbaugh already to New York. And, I mean, is it Joe Brady? Is it maybe because he was getting interest?
Brian Daboll.
But can't go Daboll here.
Don't the players? I'm under the impression that the players love McDermott, and maybe I'm wrong about that. But that it seems like they like him as a coach. They play hard. You have Josh Allen's in tears at the podium. This doesn't seem to be like we don't like the guy. And maybe you look at Philadelphia, and do the players like the coach? Do the coach like the players? Seems dysfunctional. This is a team that we've gone over. You can't get a QB sneak. 13 seconds, you can't stop a field goal. You don't get the ball back. They changed the rules. Yesterday, Josh Allen has the worst game he's ever had in the play. Josh Allen has been perfect till this. He picked a bad game not to be perfect. This team is so close. You really think it's a coaching change? I don't
think so either. I saw John Harbaugh get fired. He just got $20 million a year from the New York Giants. So it was a good day for Harbaugh. And I think there's going to be a lot of people out there looking at Sean McDermott now that he's available also.
And let me say this. I root for a team, the New England Patriots, that's trying to go to our 10th Super Bowl since I started Barstool Sports in 20 years. Our coach, Mike Vrabel, was let go / fired by the Titans. And now they're interviewing a bunch of retreads, Nagy, Saleh, nobody even in the same stratosphere as Mike Vrabel, and they let him go. Your trash is our treasure. We're knocking on the door of Super Bowl. Sometimes you got to look inward. It's not the coach, and there's no better example really than the Titans, who the second they let this guy go have become the worst team in the NFL. And meanwhile, the team he goes to is directly responsible for making him a power. So, I don't know. That seems like that could happen at Buffalo. As long as you have Josh Allen, I guess you're not going to fade that much. But I don't know. If they get. Like, football takes luck. There's so many plays in the playoffs that if a ball bounces this way, if you don't have a Hall of Fame kicker kicking in a blizzard and nailing field goals, and they change this rule, if you bring the football, the tuck rule, you can have guys who end up going to the Super Bowl. Instead, they're out of a job. So, again, I got to say, I don't think it's the coach. This guy could have 2 Super Bowls. It's a crazy decision.
They lost to the #1 seed in one of the toughest places to play in overtime in a game where your all-world quarterback turned the ball over 4 times. Yeah. And the coach is the one that gets fired. This is a crazy league, man.
Yeah, Coach Gruden, do you think McDermott immediately becomes #1 on the list for some of these teams looking for a new head coach?
I mean, I would think so. I mean, this guy's a hell of a defensive coach. He's proven he can be a great head coach. Look at his 1-loss record. Yeah. Not a lot of people have lit it up in Buffalo except for Marv Levy and Sean McDermott. And I agree with what Brandon just said. As hard as it is for me to agree with Brandon, I agree with what he just said. How in the hell do you fire this guy after that game? Are you blaming the head coach? Is that what we're saying, Buffalo? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, that is.
And honestly, you could close your eyes, squeeze them really tight, and shake and get a couple different outcomes, and the Bills are your Chiefs. Like, they're that close. and have had these battles where if literally one little thing goes the other way. And again, I don't like the way they ran the QB sneak. I thought it was stupid. They didn't push, but they're right there. They are right there.
It is crazy, right? Like, even though I understand why they didn't, if they call Brandon Cooks down by contact, does that mean that McDermott still has a job?
Yeah.
And that's just a wild thing to make this large of a decision based off of. Any final thoughts on McDermott? I've got a couple more questions for Coach.
Yeah, I mean, even as a fan, and we've already discussed, they're the biggest losers in sports. They are. They're the biggest loser franchise. Isn't there probably an element within that fan base that wants to win with him, that's been with the guy who suffered with you and felt every defeat, and now you just throw him to the trash? I don't know. If I was a Bills fan, I'd be like, he's been with us through all of this. Let's win with him. It'll be sweeter.
I have a bigger question than the fans. What does Josh Allen think about it? Josh Allen knows he went out there and turned the ball over 4 times. Yeah. Josh Allen's been through the wars with these guys. Josh Allen has been right there. He's 1-1 with McDermott. So how does he feel today?
Well, that's a question for Coach, dude, that he had to green light that. Wouldn't he? Like,
I can't imagine that. I again, until I hear what really happened, I'm not going to say too much. I do know this, Dave. You don't make emotional decisions. I remember a couple weeks ago, let's fire LaFleur. They lost a 21-3 lead. Just handle the noise for 48 hours and then make a decision. But for this to happen, bang, bang, after a dramatic loss like that, I think they're going to regret this personally, and I hope they do.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? How you don't make an emotional decision. Some said that Bisciotti and the Ravens made one when the Steelers missed a kick, but in his press conference, he was like, all that kick would have done is meant that this happened a week later. So, like, that choice is already made. I don't think you can say that about McDermott and the Bills. So that's a wild
yeah, and the Ravens, I wouldn't have done it, but that one I can understand a little bit. They weren't knocking quite like the Bills have been knocking so loudly and seemingly right there. This was shock. I didn't even know this was on the table. This is a total shock to me that they did this.
You know, the Buffalo Bills played this whole season without any wide receivers. Yeah. And we can talk about Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that. Josh Allen had a career year. He completed 70% of his passes for 8 yards per attempt, and they have no receivers. Their linebacking core was decimated. Ed Oliver just showed up to play yesterday. And to be honest, their whole secondary was injured. They're playing their 4th-string safety. Tre'Davious White was in and out of there. Their first-round pick was hurt. Unbelievable what just transpired. I hope this is false news. Is it false news?
Doesn't appear to be.
False. It's coming from Schefter.
I came out of that Bills game thinking they were much better than the Broncos. Like, it was an abnormal. It took a very subpar Josh Allen game, which you're not going to get very often, for the Denver to squeak that game out. I'm shocked. And again, I will avenge the Buffalo fans. Hopefully the Patriots can restore order to the AFC East. But my God, what a shocking turn of events.
Well, you know what, Dave? Maybe Sean McDermott went in there and said, hey, I can't handle this anymore. I need to take a break from coaching. Perhaps there was some of that. I don't know, but we need to get some more information on this. This was a bomb that just dropped. I can't even believe it.